whatever he does, I got to be where he is. And you'd see all these girls around the court watching.
No, really?
Like, come on.
You're kidding.
Court, look here today, ladies. See? It hasn't stopped, Woods.
That's true. That is true.
It hasn't stopped, my friend.
That is true.
I mean, a serious legend. I mean, I grew up here in Southern California, and I remember watching you going, holy cow.
Wait, you're young, dude. You weren't even alive when I was playing.
Oh, please, man. I'm 1970.
Okay,
when
all right.
You were popping in the 80s, I was right there.
75.
I started in 77 playing on the beach.
Didn't you go to Pepperdine?
UCLA, yeah. And then played on our national team, and then ended up having a career on the beach for 25 years. But I helped build the first professional tour here, the AVP, and then helped build the sport internationally, created the world tour with the international governing body, helped get the sport into the Olympics. I played in the first Olympics for beach volleyball in 1996 in Atlanta, and then I've been, doing stuff here in our country and internationally to continue to develop the sport. And by the way, the biggest event that there's ever been in the U.S. is coming in 2 weeks.
Which is that?
It's the World Series of Beach Volleyball. It's all the best teams from around the world playing in an FIVB Grand Slam, and then the world against the USA in a 4-team kind of playoff thing on Saturday afternoon and Sunday. And throughout the whole week, this is the 22nd through the 28th.
Nice.
Throughout the whole week, they're going to have a 6-man competition, a 4-man competition, a collegiate championships, a youth championships, music every day, good musical acts.
And it's happening here
I heard
in San
that.
Diego.
No, this is in Long Beach. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. It's in
no
Long
worries.
Beach, but there's no beach big enough that will handle what this event is going to be.
And are you competing? Part of my ignorance.
No, I actually help bring the event to the United States, and I'm helping run the event basically. But what people don't realize is if they play in the 4-man or the 6-man, they're playing right next to the best players in the world, because the Grand Slam would be going on at the same time. So it's a pretty cool thing.
Now, when you look back, we were talking obviously during your rise there, late 70s into the 80s.
Yeah.
Were you pinching yourself at that time? Because people like me, we worshipped you and envied you. And all.
Well, I'll tell you. So when I grew up a little further north.
Right.
And, my parents brought me down to the beach as a little kid. And I was watching all the guys they weren't pros at that time. They were, because there was no money. There was no TV. Right. There was no sponsors, nothing. But I watched these guys. They were bigger than life to me as I was a little kid. And obviously that would have been a very cool thing to be able to do. So as I got a little older, I realized I could actually do it. So I started playing. Again, at that time, amateur sport. But you go to the beach and you play, and this is one of the beaches where I played at right here, and Ocean Beach on the other side here. But when you went down to play in one of those tournaments, the open tournaments at that time in the late 70s and in the early 80s, before the money started come into the sport, you'd have thousands and thousands of people coming down to watch these guys play the game, and it was such an incredible atmosphere. If you guys are a little young, you came on when the sport was professional.
Yes, absolutely.
But before that, it was awesome when it was professional. But before that, when it was not professional, people would come down, sit in the sand, be thousands of people. You could not get this close to the courts. Yep. It was so crowded, and it was an incredible party.
Man,
what a rush.
Because I distinctly remember, even down here in San Diego, by the mid to late 80s, they used to have the tournaments right around the corner there. It was always sponsored by Cuervo, and it was this huge, Cuervo, crazy, just people going nuts and partying on the beach, and you were the epicenter of it all.
And it was, for me, it was totally by accident. I was at the beach and I learned how to play, and then the natural progression was to play in the tournaments. And
you look around one day and you're like,
it's like, okay, I'm here where everybody wants to be, but I'm still enjoying myself. I'm having a great time. Awesome. I'm playing the sport I love, and there just happens to be other people that enjoy watching. It was just a complete accident, but it was very cool.
That's awesome. Well, we have to talk about the cult classic Side Out.
Yeah.
It is. Dude, I'm telling you.
It's up there with the North Shore.
It's fun, but it's such an for me, it's exactly what happened. I moved out here from Texas. And I was like, and it was like, see Thomas Howell moves out from wherever.
Somewhere back east.
Back east, and then he lands, he's like, I'm not going to be a lawyer anymore. I'm going to play volleyball and play against you. It was Randy Stoklos.
Yep. Me and Randy in the final, but they had a lot of the other pros participating.
Peter
Horton was C. Thomas Howell's partner.
What was that like to act in a major Hollywood feature?
It was awesome.
Was it incredible?
I'll tell you what happened, though. I mean, we were doing this, shooting it in the middle of the season. And, we'd end up staying late at night. And like the restaurant scene, we were up till like midnight. And then, we'd have to play the next day, so we'd have to drive down, the coast to get in, play in the tournament. But we were at Zuma Beach, which is north.
Yep.
Shot all the way through, and this is at the time when the tournaments were 2 days when we were traveling. We shot through Friday. They landed a helicopter on the beach to pick us up. To take us down to LAX to get a flight so we could make the tournament. So that was kind of more cool than anything. But the acting part, we weren't really acting. We were playing ourselves.
Right?
Was C. Thomas Howell, was he a diva at all on the set?
No,
or was
he was cool. Actually, Peter Horton would come down. No. He would come to the beach, the local beach, before the movie, long before, and he would play with us. No, before that.
Just before it was even an idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's killer.
He came down to play. Now he actually sends his daughter down to one of my camps, and they play.
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
Awesome. It's such a cult classic.
C. Thomas was cool. Remember,
could he play at all?
He was an athlete. He didn't have enough time to really develop his skills. I don't know if you remember the last play of the game, kind of hokey.
Yeah,
was it
this one.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Fumbling around.
I mean, it's hard to come out and look like you can actually play the game in a matter of a week or two.
Sure.
But he did okay, except for that last. And we told the producer and everything else, and he goes, "Sorry, we're done shooting.
That's it.
We can't do anything more."
It's such a classic
other than that,
movie,
it was okay. The volleyball part of it, it was okay. It was
Did you ever say to him, "Get golden or stay golden, pony boy"? Did you ever go there?
I'm so tired of that.
I'm sure that's so. Okay, last question for you, because I know you're running your operation here today, but I do want to ask you, get a little deep here, but do you get the same out of the sport today that you did during, let's call it, your heyday, if you will?
It's completely different. I mean, when you're playing, you're in a completely different frame of mind. You're training every day that you can, and then you're traveling to events, and you're competing against the best in the world.
Sure.
And you've got a different focus going on. Now it's completely different, because I do camps, I put on events, I'm involved with this international event, and you're more or less spreading the word and educating and teaching people, which I enjoy very much. I did it throughout my whole career, but now that's my main focus. And I work with the international governing body, like I said, overseeing the world tour.
That's so impressive.
And bringing one of those. There hasn't been an event here in this country for 10 years, an international event like I'm talking about. So all the Olympians that you saw in London, they'll all be in Long Beach that week of the 28th.
And where can we get information on this if we want to direct people online?
WSOBV.com, the World Series of Beach Volleyball.com.
Nice,
all the information, there's all the different events, all the activities. And this is free. Remember, for a while they were charging to come to the pro events.
Sure.
Back when no one was charging.
Sure.
So this event, they're not charging. And you get not only the best players in the world, but you can play. You can play in the six-man, play in the four-man, the collegiate, the youth, and there's music every day and other activities going on.
I'm seriously considering going up to North Beach with
Long Beach
with the family. Seriously.
Yeah, no,
that'd be cool, man.
If you have any interest in volleyball at all, it's all going to be there, and it'll be very entertaining, the whole event.
Do you run your camps down here in San Diego?
Yeah, that's where I was
doing.
That's
where we. What did you think when you saw this hipster in a leather jacket walking across the sand?
I thought he was one of the older kids coming over to play.
Hey, can I play? Dude, thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you so much. Sinjin Smith, everybody.
Cool. Thank you.